Welcome to the Rowdy Point of View podcast. I am Joe Lee, and this is my beautiful co-host and wife, the Con.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. Get ready for some real talk because we're spilling the tea on the many lives that we have lived on this rowdy journey.
We started this podcast because we believe in the power of being real, sharing our experiences, and challenging the norm. So buckle up, get real, and let's get rowdy.
Okay, so for today, this first episode, we just wanted to take a little bit of time to kind of introduce ourselves, give you guys a little bit of backstory. We do have some questions here. We're going to do like a back and forth and ask each other and give the answers and see where that takes us. So, question 1, what inspired you to start this podcast together? What do you think?
I believe that I think we wanted to start this podcast to kind of share our journey, share our journey about just parenting, not only just parenting, but, parenting special needs kids, that are extremely difficult. And it's kind of just put on my heart to, I think our experiences can help other people, don't you?
Yeah.
We got a crazy ass story. We got a crazy life, and nothing is easy about it. But, I think it's awesome. I wouldn't change it for the world, would you?
No. We find a way to make it fun every day. Kind of try to treat every day like it's a holiday.
Yeah.
And I think that the world could use more of that.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you want to add? What kind of put on your heart why we started this?
I think kind of the same thing that you said. There's a lot of things. We've been through a lot of dark, heavy stuff that I think a lot of other people can relate to. And I think we could give other people hope. I hope that we can give other people hope,
right.
That if we can keep getting up and moving on every day and putting a smile on our face after all of the hell that we've been through, that you can do it too.
We've been through some shit.
Yes.
But it's all, it ain't all dark. Even the crazy shit. I feel like something good came out of everything,
Sure.
We've kind of lived and learned. That's what life's about. You're supposed to learn from your lessons and move on, especially when I was an addict for 20 years. I fucking rifled every single day. You know what I mean? I chased dope. I sold dope. I just been in some really, really dark stuff. So to be a family man today, it's a different dynamic.
Right.
It's like I'm living a different life.
Right. Yeah.
I've been separated from the other life for so long, and this feels like a whole different life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
person.
It's really cool and it's neat. And I just want to share this shit with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, if you could describe each other in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. Loyal, understanding, and loving.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I agree with loyal. Very loyal and like almost to a fault.
You be real, you get my feelings.
I'm not worried about that. I don't know, like jolly. I don't know what kind of word to use, but like you always bring
joy,
yes, to everything. You're always like lighting up the room. And maybe just, I don't know, like a rifler. I don't know how to. He just
yeah. I'm a rifler.
He's an operator.
I'm definitely all those things for sure. So you got
also very, very loving and sweet.
Oh, thank you.
And like thoughtful.
Yeah, I try to.
All the things.
Well, that was like 5, but that's good. Thank you. Yes, I could too. Honestly.
Okay.
Keep going. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay. What's the one thing people would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a total nerd, honestly.
We're big nerds.
I love anything fantasy, Star Wars. I just love that shit. Video games. I'm a gamer. you know, under this hard exterior that, you know, as a man, you put on this hard exterior for so long, you got to be so fucking hard to, you know, you're living that life of drugs and running around and just
Cool. It
yeah,
wasn't cool to be
yeah.
nerd boy
No, it
growing
wasn't cool at all
up.
to be.
Kind of cool.
You know, it is cool,
Yeah.
and I love it. I
I
wouldn't
love that
change
for
it.
these kids.
Oh, I do too. You know, it's a different dynamic today. When I was a kid, if you were a nerd, you know, you was not fucking cool. You wasn't getting no girls, and
Yeah, you're
like
being bullied and
you're on the outs.
Yeah.
So like I had to like, you know, keep
lived
that
alive.
I had to keep that concealed, even though I really enjoyed these things. I'm like, that ain't that ain't fucking cool. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But and really, I really like, I love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a secret about me, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious I'm a nerd. I guess that like if like people that know me now or that would meet me today would be surprised to know that I was a drug addict. I didn't do it for 20 years or anything. It wasn't like a lifer, but you know, I had a problem.
So sorry to interrupt. Fuck me.
Oh, but yeah, I've had people like be surprised at that when
I can see that.
brought it up.
You're kind of
because I'm so different.
like a goody goody, you know. Well, you're like raised up and you're like a good
fucking square.
You're like you're not a square now, but like, you know, you probably used to be, you know.
Yeah.
You know, in the
kind of
the circus wheel of life, you know, school, and you know, you were
I was very on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Or like ever.
I never knew what that narrow was.
Yeah, I was also a late bloomer to everything. I never like took a drink until much later, years later than all my friends were doing all this stuff way before I finally gave in.
Got the courage.
Yeah. I was mostly afraid, you know, but I also kind of didn't. I watched all of them be like trashed and stuff, and like they were out of control, and
it was.
And just like that, it was scary. You know, like I kind of
scary.
looked after all of my friends and the people around me and stuff a lot because I was the only sober one.
Yes,
I always had like kind of that
motherly, protective vibe. I can see that.
Yeah, so I knew that like if I didn't stay sober, nobody else would, and then who would look after everyone? That kind of thing.
You guys would all be fucked.
Yeah,
I can see that.
That's kind of been a common theme for me throughout. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Good question.
Okay, what's the most rowdy thing you've ever done in your life?
Oh man, I don't think I can say that. Honestly, I can't. I don't
want to implicate myself.
I can't really. Yeah, I can't. I can't really go too deep on the rowdiest thing I've ever done. I've done some crazy shit. Like, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. For camera friendly, and I want to be real. I mean, I want to keep it real with you guys and like share my experiences with you. Like, the rowdiest thing I've ever done, off the top of my head, man, it's probably travel to another state with.
No, probably go to Haiti.
Oh,
realistically,
good call. But I was with this
organization
that works with young men in trouble in and out of jail, and they suspended my sentence for me to go to this church fucking place church program. Sorry for all the F's. They had during the earthquake hit in 2010, and the president of the United States, everybody was signing waivers for relief teams. If you're a felon, they'd sign a waiver for you to get a passport. So that's how I got a passport. I got my jail sentence suspended. I went to this place, and I was in Haiti within like 3 weeks. And we were in Haiti for a little over 3 weeks. And my God, let me tell you fucking what, that is the rowdiest, nastiest fucking place I've ever seen in my life. Just think of the biggest landfill you've ever seen in your fucking life. People living on it, like, honest to God, without the trash and shit. There's no trees. These motherfuckers are starving so bad they ate all the trees. I promise you, there's no trees. It's dirt, and saying that the fucking kids have no supervision at all.
You guys were building like a school, or what were you building? You were putting plumbing or something?
No, we did. I poured a foundation for a school by hand. We mixed, it was like 15 yards of concrete. And if anybody knows anything about concrete, that's a lot of concrete. It's a big slab. So they had bagged cement, and then we hired locals to help us. And they all mixed it by hand on site, and then they fucking bucketed it. I mean, like 30 guys, bucket to bucket into there, and we dumped it. And me and another guy that I got out of jail with, my homie Chris, he was there with me, and we fucking killed that job. It was nuts. It was hot, hotter than I've ever seen. It's right on the equator.
Right.
So it's a different kind of heat.
Yeah.
Like you're fucking cooking, man. It is just insane. And water's scarce. So even their water treatment plant they have, if you're lucky enough to get some of that water, it tastes like bleach. But they have to do that because it's just so contaminated. One of the most contaminated waters in the world is what I was told when we were there. You drink the water without being purified, you get something called the Haitian high step.
Ooh.
You drink that shit and you're high step into the toilet like it did. You get deathly sick,
Yeah.
parasites, all that
Naughty.
shit. Yeah, so I can go on and on and on about that.
Yeah.
We'll get more into my experience in Haiti. Like, got a whole lot of stories, crazy shit. So make sure you keep staying in tune every week, and we'll dive deeper into that later. So I'm not trying to take up too much of your time.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to get through all these things.
It's
but we'll
okay.
do what we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosh, I mean, the thought, my first thought that came to mind of the rowdiest thing I've ever done is I feel like I don't know
Don't be shy now.
if I should say that I stabbed my ex-husband.
I mean, you can say what you want. That's happened. I mean,
Is there a statute of limitations? I mean,
you were arrested for it, so it's already
no,
done
I
and
wasn't
done.
arrested for that. That was a different time.
That's a done and
different
done.
thing.
You're not like implicating yourself or telling him who gives a fuck. He was a piece of shit, and you stabbed him. What happened?
I was just emotionally, verbally, physically, and psychologically tortured to such a great extent that, it was like Snapped. Have you seen the show Snapped? It was kind of like that. So I just stabbed him with a little kitchen knife one time, and I thought maybe that would scare him enough that he would fucking leave me alone, but it kind of did the opposite, and then that was even more scary for me. But that's a whole nother thing that we'll, get into another day. But that's probably the rowdiest thing that I've ever done.
Stab somebody. That's pretty fucking rowdy.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the only time.
Moving on.
That would probably surprise people if they met me today.
Yeah,
They knew
absolutely.
that I used to be kind of violent.
Extremely violent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do we balance each other out in terms of personality?
Shit.
I think we have pretty similar kind of personalities.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I get overwhelmed, and you kind of be the calm in the storm and kind of bring me back down to, reality. You calm me down when I get overly mad or excited about something. You kind of help balance that out for me.
Like the Hulk.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, and the Black Widow. Yes, and Hulk. Exactly.
I can see that.
Sometimes I just fucking want to Hulk out. Shit. You know what I mean? Just life's crazy, man, and sometimes you gotta Hulk out.
Yeah. We're working on it.
We're working on it, yes. Day at a time, baby.
Yep.
Day at a time.
Okay. So what was your first impression of each other when you met?
Oh, man.
We kind of already knew about each other before we actually met face to face.
Yeah, a little
So
bit.
maybe we had like an impression in our mind before
Yeah.
we met. Like somebody had already told me about you and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I think that whenever I first actually met you in person, I was just really almost, I would say, and this probably sounds really dumb and cheesy, but I would say almost like a starstruck type of thing because I had been creeping you on Facebook and like looking at your photos and stuff. And I was like, this dude's like really hot. He's never going to talk to me. And then whenever I fried catfish, so I felt kind of like I'm covered in grease and gross. We met at our job at Gray Brothers Cafeteria, which just closed recently. But
That's a fun job.
I was just in a place in my life where I was kind of a lot more carefree. I was newly divorced. I got divorced like 2 weeks before I met him. And so I was ready to shoot my shot. I wasn't intimidated, but I was kind of a little like, oh fuck, I was kind of a little, I don't know if I can pull this, but did it.
I mean, you were funny. I could right off the bat. I'm very good at reading people. I've been reading people my whole life. So like within the first fucking 5 minutes of just having a conversation with you, I knew what kind of person you was and potentially what kind of person you could be. You know what I mean? Like diamond in the rough in a bad situation, been with a bad guy, mistreated, fucking like a battered puppy type shit. And I didn't take advantage of that. I'm not like that. But I definitely seen it. I was hurting. I just got out of jail on a violation. I just recently did 3 years in prison before that, and I got out and I violated within a few months and went back and did 3 or 4 months and got out. I was out for like 2 or 3 days, and then somebody told me about a job at Gray Brothers that they hired everybody, and I could get a ride. Back then I didn't have a vehicle because I just got out doing all that time. So I got a job at Gray Brothers, and I saw Con, and fuck man, we hit it off immediately. It was like, best friends at first sight type shit, you know what I mean? She was my Bonnie to my Clyde. She rode the fuck out, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's a life lesson you've learned that you wish you knew earlier? That's a good one.
Probably the monotony of a 9 to 5 job was always taught my entire life that you work hard for everything you get and you'll be rewarded. The harder you work, the more stuff you'll gain, the more money you'll make. And in a sense, that is true. But, on another token, like, that's not always true. I see poor motherfuckers working their life away for 20 plus years at the same job, busting their ass, hoping for a promotion, hoping for that position that they've been promised. That's what I think. I mean, not always working hard for a 9 to 5 will get it done.
That's a good one. I think probably that, like, just because you're related to someone doesn't necessarily mean that, like, family doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. And you're not obligated to stay in contact with or have people in your life that are toxic to you just because they're your family.
Yes, that's a good one. I wish I learned that one way earlier as well.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love my family.
Right, right.
All you guys listen, I love every one of you guys to death, but sometimes distance is best.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. If you can invite any 3 people, living or dead, to be guests on this podcast, who would you choose?
Oh, shit.
Right.
That's a tough one. One would be your dad for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely like to pick your dad's brain, pick my mom's brain. They're both passed away.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
My brother Nick.
Yeah.
He was there with a lot of the crazy shit. He's passed away too.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, even like, somebody famous or, let me think here. Who would be a fun person
I know Theo Vaughn would just be fun. I enjoy watching his podcast. He's always funny.
Okay, you
say
fun. Theo Vaughn, I'll be fire. Yeah,
For
Theo
sure.
Vaughn. Mine would probably be John Berthenol. I
That'd be
love
good.
John
That'd be
Berthenol.
good.
Shout out. Love all your shit, The Punisher, all your movies. He's just a phenomenal actor, and his podcast is fire. And he's just a very cool guy, very likable guy. I think he'd be a really interesting person to pick his brain and see what he has to say. Let's boost this shit, so maybe that can happen one day. Okay, welcome back. We kind of got cut off there. Our feed got messed up. Our kids were screaming, so I apologize for that. So here is where we left off.
Okay, so then our next question: what is the funniest or most embarrassing moment you've experienced together?
I'd definitely say Giovanni's childbirth.
Yeah.
That was the rowdiest shit I've ever seen.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So if you have never witnessed a child being born, this is more common than you would think, but so I put when I was pushing out the child. Okay.
No, listen. I'm fucking standing there. I'm holding her hand, the whole thing, and I'm sitting there and she's pushing. And I'm like, yeah, come on, baby, you got this. I'm pushing, you got this. I'm holding her hand. And I smell the foulest fucking thing you ever smelled in your life. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I look down and she shits a turd so fucking big and it stunk so bad. And the crazy part is this fucking woman doctor was sitting there catching the fucking baby and the turd comes out and she just slides it off the fucking table like nonchalant, nothing happened. And it keeps on. And I'm sitting there like in shock, like, bitch, did you not see that fucking? What are we doing here? It was a shocker for me, and I was like, someone take that fucking bucket out of here. That thing stunk like a son of a bitch, and they're smoldering for God knows how long. I know you couldn't feel it, and I didn't want to say nothing at the time. I didn't want to embarrass her or anything like that, so I just like kept my mouth shut, been a gentleman type shit, But that was definitely the rowdiest fucking thing I seen. We had the experience together, so.
Yep. I got hemorrhoids to prove it.
Okay. What you got for me? Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
How do you both handle disagreements or conflicts?
Man, I think I mean, we've been together for 11 years, so I think at this point now, I think we got to a really sweet spot where we can like discuss things,
Mm-hmm.
and not sit and like ponder them and just let it brew inside before we let it build up, build up, build up, and have a big blow up, and then we'd be apologizing to each other. Instead of that, now like we just kind of like
Kind of
just
like,
talk it through.
yeah, discuss things as they happen instead of like letting it go and not saying
Yeah,
anything.
in the moment,
That kind
like in the moment, like
right.
discuss it.
Try to, we're really, and not just with each other, but like with everyone, just conflict
Yes.
in general. We're conflict avoiders. We don't like the confrontation. We don't want, to have it. So we would try to avoid it and then end up getting to a place where we would like just blow up on somebody.
Right.
But we've been working on that. And yeah, I agree. I think that we've definitely improved to a place where we can just be more gentle, even,
Right.
because it's hard not to feel criticized,
Right.
especially with your partner when they're coming at you with something that they feel upset about.
Makes you
You feel
uncomfortable.
like you're being attacked or whatever, so then you want to react in like a defensive kind of way, so we've worked on that. It's gotten a lot better.
Okay, number 13.
Yeah.
What is one thing you admire most about each other? We kind of touched base on that, like when we were like the 3 things that we like about each other. Like I said, your loyalty, your understanding, your patience. You're very patient and you're very understanding, and it helps me regulate because sometimes I can be, very, overly emotional sometimes, and like my anger sometimes gets the best of me. Not like a yeller or screamer, but sometimes it just builds up and I snap like the Incredible Hulk. Like you calm me down, like yeah, like Black Widow and the Hulk, exactly. So yes.
Yeah, and I would say, like, you're resourceful. Your ability to always make a way, figure something out, make something shake, survival
Survival instincts.
techniques.
Yeah,
Yes.
survival 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Thank you.
So where do we go?
And a time machine.
Yes.
If you had a time machine, what moment in your life would you go back to and why?
Yeah, probably just like I don't know about a specific moment, but if I could go back and like just spend another day with my mama and just like pay more attention to the things she was trying to teach me
Right.
and just listen more, like if I knew what I know now, if I was having the knowledge that I know now, just to go back and spend some more time with her or with my dad and just pay more attention.
Right.
When you're a kid, you're like thinking about your own shit. You're not really like thinking about the fact that this person's going to be gone someday and you're not going to have another opportunity to learn anything from them or, just have a conversation with them. Yeah.
I agree. I don't have a specific moment that I would go back to, but just a moment when my mom and my brother were both alive and things were good, just to be able to spend the day with both of them would be great. I lost my mom when I was 13. I lost my brother when I was 18. He was only 22. And yeah, so I would definitely love to have another day with them. That's right.
Okay. What is a cause or issue that you both feel strongly about and want to bring awareness to?
Just parenting awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Not only, of course, autism awareness. We have autistic kids, so, of course that, but being a parent, being non-judgmental, being compassionate, and having empathy for the people that you see when their child is having a meltdown or a big feeling in public, and not looking at that person and judging them.
Right.
Feeling judged in that moment makes it even more critical and harsh for a parent. Because then now you're feeling like everybody's staring at you and judging you, which they usually are.
Yeah.
People are just not compassionate about that.
We expect kids to behave like adults or like robots out in public, and that's just not their children.
Kids are going to be kids.
That's not what they're made to be doing.
And they should be kids.
They should be allowed to be children in public.
Some kids should behave a little better or whatever, but every kid will have a moment.
Yeah.
And it's just
the public is overwhelming.
Yes,
for a lot of people.
It is.
A lot of adults will have a meltdown in public or have a time when you're in the grocery store and it gets too overwhelming and you just leave your whole cart and roll out. Like I've seen, yes, and I've seen a lot of other people talk about that. And I think, yeah, just
parenting awareness is probably, we need to be better. We should be encouraging them and helping them.
What we can do better as parents.
That's the biggest thing. Lead by example. Showing up every fucking day, no matter what. Just parenting awareness, baby.
Yep. Okay. What's one adventure that's still on our bucket list? We have a lot. We have a lot.
We've been kind of held back from doing anything because of our kids, you know. They used to be runners and just couldn't take them out in public very much because of their own safety. Yeah. Really, we're just trying to keep them safe, so we ain't been able to do a whole lot of things. So, maybe
especially, big travel.
Yes. Like we've taken them to the Great Wolf Lodge.
We went to just a little trip to Illinois.
Yeah, you went to Illinois and stayed in a hotel. That was really fun. I forgot about that.
Plans to go to Holiday World. Those things are difficult. They are a lot more difficult. Even just like going to the movies. We went to the movies for the first time the other day. Took them to the theater.
Saw the Garfield movie.
They did good.
They did.
But we still had, we still had some issues with the runner. He's still gotten so much better with it.
When you see something that he wants, man,
or it just
goes, man.
It's like a nervous system response. It's called eloping. A lot of autistic kids can struggle with it, and you hear about it in like Alzheimer's patients, where they put them in locked facilities because they will just take off with no regard to the danger that's around them. And so it's not even necessarily that like he sees something and he's running towards that. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just that his nervous system has a fight or flight response, right? Sometimes he goes into fight, but that's when he's in a flight and he just takes off.
Does it a lot.
Because the place that he's in right then has triggered a threat, a danger to him. So he just runs away from it. And maybe he runs into the street, but he can't recognize that the street is more dangerous than the place he just was. It's that kind of thing. It's not always necessarily that these kids are like trying to be disobedient or that they're trying to be bad or do something malicious. Like it's not that, but it can look like that. It can feel like that as a parent.
From an outsider's perspective, seeing it,
right? Say, man, that kid's just being an asshole. Yeah,
fucking kid, my God.
Yeah, but he's not. Inside of his body, he's terrified. Like he's scared. But he could even be laughing, but he's still scared. So it's a lot of anxiety around traveling, just even to anywhere. But we've been working on that, and we plan to be able to take them on an airplane one day and go to
Europe, Italy, Ireland,
to show them real history and real nature and life and everything. That the big part of our reasoning for wanting to homeschool is to be able to let them learn through real experiences in the real world rather than just reading about them in a textbook in a classroom.
School system is failing our kids in every way. We had to take the matter into our own hands and, try to do what's right for our kids. So, everybody's situation is different. I understand that. But, that's what we chose. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay. How do you define the word rowdy in a positive light, and how does it apply to your lives? Rowdy it's the brand. That's our thing. So how do we define rowdy? How are we redefining rowdy?
I think when you hear the word rowdy, you think of something like crazy or scary or exciting. And it can be all those things, but rowdy to me is like when you're riding a roller coaster and you get that feeling, that excitement. Right. That's what rowdy means to me.
But by definition, it says noisy and disorderly.
And it's not that. It can be noisy and disorderly.
Right. But that's not always necessarily a bad thing, right? The system wants us to think that noise and disorder is negative.
Because it's not going with the grain.
Right. But sometimes, when you're having a great time and everybody's laughing, and it can be a good noise, a joyful noise.
Right.
And, the disorder, define disorder. I mean, it's all relative,
our kids are the rowdiest fucking kids you've ever seen in your life, but in a good way.
Yeah, they're having a great time.
Happy. These kids don't know judgment. Like, a normal child. Like they just don't. They're not gonna look at a kid's outfit and be like, "Oh, look at that spread." No shit like that. These boys are non-judgmental, and they are rowdy in a fun, beautiful way. They got a smile on their face from the time they open their eyes and the time they go to sleep. Honest to God, they wake up happy and rowdy and ready to fucking go. So that's why we started this. You know, I love it.
Me too.
Rowdy's fucking awesome.
It is.
Makes me smile just saying rowdy.
Yeah, it is. It's just fun to say.
Yeah, rowdy. Let's get rowdy.
Okay. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh man, cherish the moments.
Yeah.
Cherish the little moments. The little moments in life. You can meet somebody special or have a special moment. Little moments is what makes up your life. What makes up your good memories. What makes up your everything. So just I would tell my younger self to cherish those. Cherish the moments as they come. You know what I mean? Rather than looking forward, trying to escape this or make this just that. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy how you get there.
Right.
That's where the magic is.
Yeah.
It's in the little moments.
Yeah, I would probably tell the little Con that like it's not that deep. Like none of it's that deep. It's not the end of the world. You know.
Yeah.
I was very like a doom and gloom. Like you know, everything was just dreadful, and I was called dramatic a lot.
I can see that.
You know, and I probably was, but I just had big feelings. You know, I just feel very deeply, and I would let that like send me into these downward spirals. You know, where everything like existential dread.
You know, that's a lot more common than I think.
Yeah.
So that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. What is the most unexpected lesson you have learned from each other?
Most unexpected lesson. Life's beautiful sober.
Yeah.
Life can be fun sober.
Yeah. What is the most unexpected lesson you have learned from each other? You can have fun every day. Every day can be a holiday.
Yes.
Every day can be a party. You know?
That's the way I live my life.
Whatever you want.
Like I wake up and I'm like, yeah, it's Christmas Day.
Like today. Today is TGIF. Yes. Every week we celebrate TGIF.
Yes.
We make that a special fun day. We watch old nostalgic shows. Like if you grew up in the 90s, you know about TGIF.
Yes.
It was the classic. So we watch some of those step by step, Home Improvement, you know, we'll do some of those. We'll have like a cool fun dinner. We just make it like it's a party that day. And today is a special, even more special TGIF because it's the summer solstice today. Right. Longest day of the year. So we got to get outside today. But yeah, I would say that. Okay. How do you keep your energy and motivation up when things get challenging?
Man.
Gratitude. Yeah,
gratitude. Exactly. I just think about all the things that I have in my life. I think about all the things that we've overcome, all the things that we have, and all the things that's like we got to look forward to. That brings you right back. Because damn, we got a lot to be thankful for.
Yes.
You know, and shit's like popping off and it's getting exciting. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, I just keep that in mind. Like whenever I'm feeling down or like. Or I'll, you know, come have a conversation with you, and then you start bringing those things back to me when I can't see them myself. So, yeah.
And I look at the kids. You know, I was talking about this the other day. Like, kids are not on a clock like we are. They're not on a time frame and a schedule, and a lot of times we're rushing them. Like, come on, we gotta go. We don't have time for this. Get your shoes on. You know, whatever it is. And they really force you to stop and smell the roses. You know, like we need that. We need them for that They're like, but hey, wait, well, you know, I'm looking at this little thing. There's a bug here. Or, you know, they see these little details and they take the time to pay attention to those things. And as we get older, we're like trained out of that.
To like look past that. Look past the beauty in the little things.
Right.
That's good.
So kind of, you know, just go and be in their presence and they will
be in their moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Just come and get on their level.
What's your biggest aha moment in life so far? Your biggest aha. What's that mean?
Oh, like a epiphany.
Starting this fucking podcast, starting this brand, like
Right.
realizing that we needed to do this.
Like, yes,
That
that
was
like
my
we
moment.
can do this.
Right,
Like it's for us.
right. It's for us, it's for you.
Yeah.
You know, whoever.
You look out there and you see all these other people doing
Like
these
you can do it
things.
too.
Like why can't we?
Yes, we just need support.
yeah.
We need to support each other.
Yeah,
and
we just have to put it out there.
encourage each other.
Oh, this one's good. I love this. Okay, what is a personal goal that we're each working on right now?
Launching this podcast.
Yeah.
Launching this podcast and making it something great.
Yeah, baby. We're almost done, buddy.
Sorry. Kids are knocking. That's just real life, guys. You know, they don't know boundaries, and we're trying to teach them boundaries. But you know, these kids, they don't know that. So it's definitely a learning curve. We're almost done, guys.
Okay, you'll notice we've got a little change of scenery here. We had some technical difficulties, and so we had to stop recording, and we're picking it back up here today. But we're just going to finish off with our last question, and then we're gonna just wrap it up and tell you what you can expect coming up next. So, okay, our final question is: what is one piece of wisdom you hope people take away from listening to this podcast?
I hope to inspire people. I hope that it kind of made you laugh, you know, pulled your heartstrings some. I hope that it just resonated with you, and I hope that you kind of just got a glimpse of behind the scenes of Jolie and Con. You know, just every episode isn't going to be set up like this. I set up this episode as a Q&A just to get to know me and her and to just get a little, you know, a little backstory of us and just get a little fun facts about us. And honestly, everything has just been pretty wild. We're having a lot of technical difficulties, you know, workshopping, all this stuff. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, so I'm learning as I go. But I'm going to figure this out, and hopefully next time everything's set up a lot more professional, and the setting is good, the sound's good. I know there's going to be some sound issues on this episode, so just please bear with me. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Next week when we come back, we're going to be talking about the masks that we wear, and we're going to have some fun segments about entertainment and some of the fun games that we play and shit like that.
Yeah, TV shows, movies, just whatever's going on in the world. Just some hot takes.
Hot takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you hope for our listeners to take away from this?
Pretty much the same thing. You know, I hope that you find it entertaining and that you can maybe learn something, and just maybe help people to think more about how you operate in your everyday life, and about, you know, looking inside yourself. We've done a lot of healing, a lot of growth, and it's made a huge impact in who we are and how we live. So I just kind of want to share that with other people and hope that I can help other people do the same thing.
Cool. I like that. Reflection.
Yeah.
You want people to reflect on their own lives and their own insecurities and their own battles.
Yeah.
And hope that whatever they hear from us kind of helps them move along with that process.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, next time we're going to be talking about the masks we wear. And we feel like that's something that everybody can relate to. You kind of hear the term masking a lot when it comes to the autism community and neurodivergence in general, but everybody wears a mask. We all do it for society, for our families, our friends, our jobs, wherever you're at, I think that we all feel like we have to put something on when we're in the presence of any other people. So kind of in the process of learning to unmask, that's kind of helped us realize just how much we all put on a mask all the time. So we're gonna, kind of get into that, how that affects everyone.
Trying to help you be your more authentic self.
Yes.
To be more authentic with your family, friends, and not only put on that, fake smile for your church friends or fucking, your boss at work trying to make a good impression. It's taken me a long time to do that. I used to be a man of many masks, a man of many hats. I've heard some guy say, and that always stuck with me. I always thought it was funny, but it's true. In the same way as hats, mask, same concept. Juggling a lot of different things in life, and we have a lot of different roles, especially as parents.
Yes.
As adults, we have many different roles. So we're going to dive into that next week, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, don't be too critical. Be patient with us, and I promise you, there's going to be a lot more rowdy content coming soon.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you will join us again next time.
Come back for another rowdy point of view. Have a good week. Love you guys. Peace.